What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I wanted to talk about a Jets insider talking about Darren Mougey and why he thinks he will trade for a guard. You've obviously heard the news by now. Elijah Vera-Tucker is done for the season, and as a result, Jets beat reporter Rich Cimini is predicting that Darren Mougey will trade for a guard.
I think Darren Mougey is going to trade for a guard in the next couple of weeks. AVT, we talked about his injury. As of this recording, it looks like he's going to be out quite likely for the season because of a torn triceps. Happened in practice on Tuesday. We did not get any Aaron Glenn access after Tuesday's practice. It was before. The team was not required to report that injury on Tuesday because the first injury reports come out on Wednesday. And so it kind of slipped through the cracks for 24 hours there. But the bottom line is this is a tough break for AVT, who's in a contract year. Now, this will be 3 years out of 5 where he's missed significant time with major injuries. That's rough for him individually. For the line, they need another guard. I mean, John Simpson, I think, will start on Sunday, the left guard, but he's had a kind of a cranky back this offseason. He was in and out, missed some practice time. I don't think they could stay pat at guard. I think for Sunday, they will start Joe Tippmann at right guard, Simpson at left guard, and Josh Myers at center. That's an experienced trio, so they're not that bad there, but depth concerns. I think Mougey makes a trade for a guard.
With Elijah Vera-Tucker out, the Jets will slide Tippmann to right guard and have Myers start at center, but John Simpson was banged up during training camp in the preseason. In fact, we never got to see, not once, even in the preseason, a look at John Simpson out there with the Jets offensive line, Joe Tippmann, the whole thing. It was really unfortunate and rather frustrating that the Jets offensive line wasn't, fully healthy at any point this year. But Cimini is predicting that Darren Mougey is going to make a trade for an offensive guard. Now, Cimini was pretty adamant about the Jets trading for a wide receiver. That has not happened yet. It's not to say that it can't happen at some point, but I just don't really see a path for the Jets to land an offensive lineman that's any better than what Xavier Newman or Max Mitchell would be for you. Guys, the NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 1000x your cash on daily fantasy football. Football has never been more exciting than it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Justin Jefferson, and on and on and on it goes. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 1000x payouts on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big. Use promo code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Who is looking to trade an offensive lineman, especially right now? Not many teams. There aren't many teams that are looking to make a move and give up on one of their offensive linemen. And at the trade deadline, sometimes you see that. Like a couple years ago, Ezra Cleveland was traded, who's okay. But the Jets were not in on that. And what they ended up doing was signing Roger Saffold, who I don't know if he even ever reported to the New York Jets. Can anyone find a picture of him in Jets gear at all? I can't. So again, it's just going to be, I think, challenging for Darren Mougey to go out there and find a team willing to bite on a trade offer for an offensive lineman, especially because teams know that you're desperate. If Mougey starts picking up the phone and making calls, everyone has saw the news about Elijah Vera-Tucker. They would have the Jets over a barrel on a trade conversation. So, look, it's in a perfect world, would I feel more comfortable if the Jets did have more on the interior offensive line at this point? Yeah, of course I would. The Jets are one snap away from something now happening to either John Simpson, Josh Myers, or Joe Tippmann, and then having to insert either Max Mitchell or Xavier Newman. It's great to have the opportunity to slide your starting center over to one of the guard spots, and your backup center has starting experience. But that you had to pull that lever before the season even starts. And now if one more of those guys misses time, well, now you're starting to get into the lower end of the roster. It's just not as simple as going out and pick swapping for a guy like Harrison Phillips. Defensive linemen are aplenty, corner, even wide receivers get moved very often, but quarterbacks and offensive linemen, you don't really see very many trades. And especially, again, you can maybe swing like, hey, we're going to sign someone from, somebody's practice squad. I think that's a more likely route if the Jets are going to add someone. But to anticipate the Jets doing some sort of, hey, here's a 6th round pick, you give me a 7th, and I'm going to get a starting caliber guard. I don't think it's going to work that way, unfortunately, for the Jets. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am, because then that would mean the Jets are getting another good offensive lineman, or at least a starting caliber offensive lineman in here for depth purposes. So we'll see. Guys, that'll do it for me. Once again, I am Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you next time.